Hey everybody, I'm Will. Welcome back to Idiot Proof Cooking. Today I'm going to be making a super simple dessert, shortbread. It happens to be one of my favorite. But I'm going to change it around a little bit. I'm going to get a little funky and add in lavender. I bought lavender shortbread cookies from a fair one time, and where I am, I can't ever seem to find them. So I wanted to make some and see if I can recreate that. Anyways, without any further ado, let's get into it.
Is shortbread really a dessert? Or is it more like a cookie, a biscuit, a treat? I'm not sure. Calling it a dessert just doesn't seem right because you can kind of eat it at any point in time of the day. But it's delicious, really. Why am I splitting hairs here? And pre-recorded me is just chugging through these ingredients. So take a cup of all-purpose flour, a teaspoon of kosher salt, a quarter cup of brown sugar, a teaspoon of vanilla extract or vanilla paste as I'm using, a half cup of unsalted butter that is melted, and last but not least, 2 teaspoons of ground lavender. Lavender can be a tricky ingredient to find. You can find it in some bulk barns in the dried flour form, and then you just grind it as needed. Anyways, after you put everything in the bowl, start mixing it all until it's nice and combined. After you're done mixing the batter together, grab your 12-inch by 12-inch baking sheet and line it with parchment paper. See, I learned from the Blondie episode, I'm not getting another treat stuck in the pan. Anyways, so then just tip the batter into the pan and spread it out nice and evenly. Last but not least, after you've spread out the dough, you're going to want to top it with some raw sugar, which I've just learned is called turbinado sugar. I always just thought it was called raw sugar. But anyways, put a generous sprinkling of that all over the batter and get ready to bake it. As you can see, I've got it nice and covered in that raw sugar. So what you'll want to do is put it in a preheated oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 to 25 minutes. After 20 minutes in the oven, mine came out looking like this. Now, it should be noted that I use the amounts for a single batch. If you doubled them and you placed them in that baking pan, then it would come out nice and thick like a nice biscuit. But I was looking for more of a thin cookie style for my shortbread. And I'm going to dice it up into little squares. Now, really, at the end of the day, you can just like roll the dough out and cut them into biscuits, and honestly that works just as well. But this is idiot proof cooking. You got to do it the easy way, and putting it in a baking sheet and cutting into the squares was way easier than rolling them out and cutting them into individual cookies and then baking them that way. This is just way simpler. Now, as a heads up, you should really allow the shortbread to cool for an hour or two before eating it, but because I had to cut mine first, I wanted to get in and cut it while it was still nice and warm and not brittle. And voila, lavender shortbread. Now let's get a little close-up shot of it. As you can see, there's nice specks of lavender in the cookie itself, as well as a lot of turbinado sugar sprinkled all over it. So let's give it a taste test, and it's really, really good. The lavender is not overpowering, it's just a little hint of it. It tastes like shortbread with just a tiny little hint of lavender. It's quite nice, actually. And it lives up to the stuff that I bought at that fair one time. If you like shortbread, then this is a really great recipe to follow. Honestly, I mean, shortbread's hard to screw up. It tastes good no matter what, and then with the addition of the little bit of lavender, it just brings it to a whole nother level. But anyways, that's it for today. If you like what you saw here, maybe subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and like the video if you want. Thanks again for watching Idiot Proof Cooking.